What if I told you that one man's keyboards can be heard on some of the most legendary albums in rock history? From Eric Clapton's Layla to George Harrison's All Things Must Pass to the Rolling Stones' Exile on Main Street? And yet, his name rarely gets the recognition it deserves. Today, we're telling the truth about Bobby Whitlock, a musical genius who just passed away at age 77 on August 10, 2025, leaving behind an incredible legacy that shaped the sound of rock and roll forever. Bobby Whitlock was born on March 18, 1948, in Memphis, Tennessee, the heart of American soul music. Growing up in poverty in the South, music became his escape and ultimately his salvation. As a teenager, Whitlock made his way to the legendary Stax Studios, where he would make history as the first white artist signed to Stax Records. This wasn't just a footnote, it was groundbreaking. In the racially charged 1960s South, a white teenager earning respect and recognition at the epicenter of black soul music was extraordinary. At Stax, he worked alongside legends like Booker T. and the MGs and Sam and Dave, contributing to the Memphis soul sound that would influence generations. His first recorded contribution came in 1967, and from there, his reputation as a session musician grew rapidly. In 1968, Whitlock's career took a pivotal turn when Delaney and Bonnie invited him to join their soul review band in Los Angeles. He was performing at a club with a group called The Counts when the Bramletts spotted his talent and made the offer that would change everything. Whitlock contributed keyboards and vocals to two crucial Delaney and Bonnie albums in 1969, Home and Accept No Substitute. But more importantly, this connection would lead him to meet a young British guitarist who would become one of his closest collaborators, Eric Clapton. When Eric Clapton was looking to form a new band after the breakup of Cream and Blind Faith, he knew exactly who to call. In 1970, Clapton recruited the entire Delaney and Bonnie backing band, including Whitlock on keyboards and vocals, bassist Carl Rattle, and drummer Jim Gordon. They called themselves Derek and the Dominos, and what they created together was pure magic. Whitlock wasn't just a keyboard player, he was a co-founder, co-writer, and essential creative force behind the band's sound. The crowning achievement was their double album Layla and Other Assorted Love Songs in 1970, with legendary guest guitarist Duane Allman. This album is widely regarded as Eric Clapton's masterpiece, but Whitlock's keyboards and vocals were integral to songs that have become rock classics. The band only lasted from 1970 to 1971, but their impact was immeasurable. Perhaps one of Whitlock's most significant but underrecognized contributions was his work on George Harrison's triple album All Things Must Pass in 1970. This was Harrison's first solo album after the Beatles, and it's considered one of the greatest post-Beatles releases. Whitlock's keyboard work helped define the album's expansive, spiritual sound. However, he later became vocal about credit and recognition issues surrounding the album's various reissues, feeling that session musicians like himself didn't receive proper acknowledgement for their contributions. In recent years, Whitlock criticized the Harrison estate's 50th anniversary reissue, calling it overpriced and awfully remixed, showing his dedication to preserving the integrity of the original recordings. After Derek and the Dominos disbanded in 1971, Whitlock's session work continued at the highest level. He played uncredited on the Rolling Stones' legendary 1972 album Exile on Main Street. He also contributed to albums by Dr. John and Stephen Still's band Manassas, cementing his reputation as one of the most sought-after session musicians of the era. Whitlock released 2 solo albums during this period, showcasing his abilities as both a performer and songwriter in his own right. Throughout his career, Whitlock continued recording and releasing albums, later collaborating with his wife and musical partner, Coco Carmel Whitlock. Their partnership extended beyond music into a deep personal relationship that lasted until his passing. In 2024, Whitlock was inducted into Memphis' Beale Street Walk of Fame, finally receiving recognition in his hometown for his contributions to music. He also published an autobiography titled Bobby Whitlock, a rock and roll autobiography, where he shared stories of his relationships with Eric Clapton and other music legends. On August 10, 2025, at 1:20 a.m., Bobby Whitlock passed away at his home in Texas after a brief battle with cancer. He was surrounded by his family, including his wife Coco Carmel Whitlock, sister Debbie Wade, and children Ashley Brown, Bo Whitlock, and Tim Whitlock Kelly. His manager Carol Kay confirmed the news, and his wife Coco said in a statement, "How do you express in but a few words the grandness of one man who came from abject poverty in the South to heights unimagined in such a short time?" The truth about Bobby Whitlock is that he was more than just a session musician or sideman. He was a creative force who helped shape the sound of some of the most important albums in rock history. From breaking racial barriers at Stax Records to co-creating the Derek and the Dominos sound to contributing to post-Beatles masterpieces, his influence runs through the DNA of classic rock. What makes his story even more remarkable is how he remained humble and focused on the music rather than seeking the spotlight. In an era of ego-driven rock stars, Whitlock was a master craftsman who let his keyboards do the talking. His journey from poverty in Memphis to the highest echelons of rock and roll is a testament to talent, perseverance, and the transformative power of music. Bobby Whitlock may have passed away, but his music lives on in every note of Layla, every track on All Things Must Pass, and countless other recordings that continue to inspire new generations of musicians and fans. That's the truth about Bobby Whitlock, an unsung hero whose legacy will outlive us all. Rest in peace, Bobby. Thank you for the music. Hit the bell icon for notifications. Like if you learned something new. Share your favorite Bobby Whitlock memory in the comments. Share this video to honor his legacy.